Guys, did you see that moronic speech last night? I mean, we're used to Joe Biden bumbling through just about everything he does with his incompetence, but this one took the cake. He took credit for things he had nothing to do with. He claimed he inherited a mess with COVID, and yet his own COVID advisor fully acknowledges they got to tip a hat to the Trump administration for what they did, because let's not forget, literally everything that Joe Biden is now drafting off of was set up by the Trump administration in Operation Warp Speed. Joe Biden's done nothing. There was no plan. There is no plan now. There never was. The media wasn't going to tell you that, but there wasn't. So you see this bumbling fool telling Americans that maybe, just maybe, they can gather with friends and loved ones by the 4th of July. Let's call it not so Independence Day, because that's the kind of control that he wants to exert. Maybe, just maybe, you can have a small gathering of your loved ones. Even if you're vaccinated, we're going to tell you what you can and can't do. No, you won't, Joe. That's not how America works. But what's worse is the restrictions that you are putting on Americans are significantly worse than the restrictions you're putting on illegal immigrants with the crisis at the border. Those people coming across the border, many of whom tested positive for COVID, released into society. You can have large mass gatherings of illegals, no problem. We'll let them into America. But you can't gather for a barbecue with your family at the 4th of July? You're going to impose rules on what you can and can't do, even once you've had the vaccine? That doesn't sound like the science that I've been hearing about for all this time. You lied about the mess, but remember, it was you and Nancy and Chucky Schumer complaining about Trump shutting down the borders. Probably the single most important thing to stop the spread. You were saying it was racist and it was xenophobic, but you had no plan. You told the media they did, and of course they're going to carry your water because they're incompetents, partisans, and they're hacks. That's what they do. Not one thing last night that you said made any sense. You tried taking your veiled shots at an administration that got stuff done that your incompetent presidency could never have possibly achieved. Now you're telling Americans what they can and can't do, even if they've been vaccinated, because that's not the science that you've been telling us for so long. You've been saying once you did that, you should have freedom. Fauci's flip-flopped on this just like he's flip-flopped on the mask. No one seems to know what the hell they're talking about, and it's a freaking joke. Americans have been gathering all over the country in free states, red states, in Florida and Texas. They've been having gatherings for months, and it's been just fine. They've performed better without destroying their jobs, without destroying their livelihoods, without destroying their state economies like the blue states that you're bailing out with this hoax relief package. If it was such a mess, Joe, maybe more than 9% of the relief package would be going to actual relief rather than just your Democrat pork wish list. Rather than bridges to nowhere for Chuck Schumer and stuff for Nancy Pelosi in California to bail out failed blue states. If it was such a mess, you'd take that $1.9 trillion and actually use it towards relief. But we know that's not the case because you are full of it. Give me a break. America, it's time to wake up. These people don't control you, and they certainly seem to be treating you worse than just about anyone else in society. You should wake up to it. It's disgusting.